big hockey news of the week, really, though, is to do with the Vancouver Canucks. And we'll focus on first Quinn Hughes and Elias Patterson. So Quinn Hughes, a 6-year contract extension. Beautiful. The total value of the deal is $47,100,000, and the AAV it's pretty nice, to be honest. Yeah. It's $7.85 million per year. Now, before anyone comes up to me and says, hello there, Adam, what about UFA years? I don't care. Right now, for the next 6 years, he'll be making less money than like Darnell Nurse, Zach Werenski, and all the likes. I think it's a home run deal. What about you, fellas?
I like it a lot. I really like it. That was the one. Like, I knew that they weren't able to extend them both long term, so to get at least one of the cornerstones down. And again, when you talk about the UFA years, it's about what the Canucks have to do, and it is to minimize the mistakes this offseason. So getting them down to contracts is great. You know, just look at that success right now, and we're going to talk about the next contract with Elias Patterson. That's something else to worry about. But for now, it's just get back to having two of your best players on the team and try to build something from there.
Mm-hmm. Alex?
Yeah, like I think with both these contracts, if you're looking at it short term, they're really good. And obviously with Quinn Hughes, long term, it looks really good as well. You know, Cale Makar got, what was it, $9 million for 6 years as well. So to get him under $8 million in my eyes for the same term is also, in my eyes, is really good. With Pettersson, the 3 years is the 3 years. You have 3 years to do this really well, then you're going to deal with this again. Mm-hmm. Right. That would be the concern. And I believe I saw this morning, Dreger reported that the last year is over $10.25 million. Mm-hmm. For Pettersson's deal. So that will be quite interesting because he can walk to UFA if he just takes the qualifying offer.
Okay, and with that, Elias Patterson, Elias Patterson, this is a 3-year deal. It's total $22 million spare change. 7.35 is the AAV. He will be an RFA at the end of it, but it's 1 year away from UFA with arbitration rights. Now, people are getting this really confused, so we're going to put it out on the table. And I reread the CBA earlier today. The qualifying offer is 8.82. It's not 10. It's not 9. It is not 12. It is 8.8. Okay.
Yeah, that's what they changed it, right? Is that what they did in the last amendment, where they made the smallest change?
Yes. Had to do with it's weird, but it is 120% of the cap hit.
I'm really glad that's what the PA is concerned about, by the way.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So glad.
I'm checking right now, cap friendly for the Canucks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the Pettersson deal lines up really well when Tanner Pearson and Tyler Myers come off the books.
Sorry, say that again?
When the Pettersson contract lines up really well when Tyler Myers and Tanner Pearson both come off the books.
Well, what's interesting is you just got to wonder, because they're going to need it, because I think it's before that is Horvat, right? You have it up. Can you screen share it?
Yes, but you are going to laugh at the amount of tabs I have open. All right.
It's a lot of tabs.
Yeah.
Oh, God, Daniel. Okay, 6. I got to zoom in to get a look at this. So,
all right, so I'll start with Tanner Pearson.
Right. Yeah.
And then you see it? So 3.25. And then Tyler Myers. It's actually 2 years, yeah. So it'd be okay.
And Jason Dickinson.
Yeah. But that's actually okay. I know he's a good player. He's a great player. Great two-way guy, plays the bottom six really well. But I'm like, that was kind of pricey for when they got. I know they traded a pick for him, but I'm like, maybe the best has yet to come for Jason Dickinson because he's been sheltered a lot in Dallas.
Yeah, well, still, the guy he can play defensively. If he was on a strict roll like that, I think he should be fine. Okay, well, it's good because regardless, they're going to need the money because with that, him being 1 year away and just like one contract away for that qualifying offer, Pettersson all of a sudden will have all of the leverage, especially that if there are reports are true that he took a little less to help make this deal happen. That's going to be the big thing with Vancouver. And they need to make sure they have deals that are expiring alongside of him. So you're going to have that room. Because as we know, the Canucks just love to sort of spend their money. And they need to make sure Pettersson is the first priority. Because I saw somebody say, hey there, so Patterson and Hughes are at fault for this going so long because they've been rejecting the deals. And that's why this has taken so long. Even though OEL has been worked on for like 2 years now.
Yeah.
They still have the extra year of Tucker Pullman. That's interesting.
I don't know. I just think there's the Besser and the Horvat deals are going to be, even the JT Miller deal. Like if you're Vancouver, that's the last guy you want to lose, right? Because he's been quite important to this team on the ice and seemingly off the ice as well, even though he doesn't have an A. But it's just, you got to get those done. And it's just going to be, I'm really curious to see what that next negotiation looks like for Pettersson, depending on how those negotiations go for those three other forwards in particular. It's going to be an interesting next few years for this team.
Mm-hmm. As it always is with the Vancouver Canucks, they're always a story to keep an eye on. But do you know what? At least for now, we can say this, right? That regardless of how the Canucks handle it, for the next 3 years at least, their number one center is locked up, they've got their best defenseman locked up, and their goalie is locked up. Like we said for Kaprizov, he may leave at the end of it, but guess what? Minnesota have him for 5 more years. It's better to have the player than not to. They're difficult to replace, especially considering Pettersson was a steal at like 6 or whatever it was.
But at the same time, it's up to Jim Benning to surround the rest of that team with the best team possible.
Mm-hmm.
And he's got to do that. And I think the top 6 looks great. The defense looks a little shaky, but he's got to do his best job, right? It's a two-way street there to have them under contract, but you also have to surround them with the best possible team. It's great to have these players, but
mm-hmm.
A lot of young guys they're going to have to kind of depend on right now to see where are they going to fit. Like I'm looking at Rathbone and I'm looking at Vasily Podkolzin and like where is he going to start? Is he going to play in the top 6? Is he going to be someone that, kind of assimilates the game a lot better than like we've seen with a lot of younger guys coming up right away? Because like I remember Vitaly Kravtsov was hyped up to help the Rangers, but we didn't really see much of that, which is expected.
Mm-hmm. Question.
Yes.
Does Brock Besser get traded? We have to have this conversation. Will they be able to afford all of them? Because it's Besser up this year, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Besser is indeed up this year.
Like all their I think we joked about this when Alex was sick. It's all the money and restricted free agents they have this year, or UFAs, whatever, is all going to Besser, right? So, well, all right.
You're going to have to
Anything
choose.
else?
It's going to be like Besser, Miller, Horvat.
I mean, you choose Besser.
Yeah.
Younger guy.
What about the leadership? If you have to remember the leadership.
It's their team. Matt Martin or Mitch Marner? It's Matt. No, you don't go Matt Martin. You go Mitch Marner to get the best player. It's simple as that. Keep them together.
Did you compare Matt Martin and Mitch Marner too?
Mm-hmm.
Go Horvat. Sorry, that's just really funny to me.